Alright, I finally finished replicating this mini album. I made it 4 more times, and just a really quick flip over so you can see what I started out with. This is the first one I had actually finished, and this is the one I ended up using as my base to try to go off as far as decorating the rest of them. But you also somehow end up getting things a little bit different just because, well, I cut this page a little differently and I added this pocket in. This should have been flipped around this way so that I know it's really weird. Had I followed my own instructions, they would have all been identical, but I thought I knew what I was doing, and I just was swinging it. So this one flips this way, whereas this one flips this way. And then this ends up on the other side, and so did this. And when I cut this piece, I cut it a little bit differently than I did this piece, even though it was the same exact decorative paper. Well, that meant I cut off parcel post, which I was very upset about, but in the end I ended up kind of glad that I did, because you get to see more of the flowers here. I mean, not a ton more, but you do. And I got to put the parcel post here as opposed to this. Is one better than the other? Not really. It's just what you prefer. But I really want a parcel post to be in there just because we do work for the post office. And on this side, the difference would be, again, very similar. This should have been flipped around that way and put on that way, but because both sides originally, before you glue them down, are open like this, so it's just a matter of paying attention to what you're doing and before you go and glue them down. And I did make a tutorial on this, but when I did, I glued that page in the wrong way, so I'm still unsure as to whether I'm going to post that video or not. Oh, I also wanted to show, I also changed up some of the things, not on purpose. This is my original. On one of them I did these, part of the eggs up here. I really wish I would have done that on all of them, but I was using this as my template and I didn't. But at the same time I did get quite a few more butterflies here, so there's that. And I'm on this one, I'm actually, I just have a few more pictures to add in, and then it'll be done. Oh, and like right here, I accidentally cut that too small. For the life of me, I could not find the bottom part of this, as you can see here. So I just took a strip of another sheet of paper and added it to the bottom, because I used to be super duper anal, meticulous, whatever word you want to use, and I would have trashed this. And I realized that just because these aren't going to all be exactly the same, they still serve the same function, and they're going to do pretty much the same thing. On this one, I really, see, this is, I really glued it in. I did not want all of my pockets to be showing at the same time, and yet here they are. They're all showing at the same time. But that's okay. It still does the same exact thing. It opens up this way. This way it ends up being a really huge long piece So it really depends on what look you're going for. I mean, this way it can end up a long piece too, but you're folding it in a way it kind of wasn't intended. It's meant to fold out this way. But either way, and for the life of me, I don't remember what I did differently with this one. But they did all end up being somewhat different in a way. I know, something. Or maybe this one ended up going the way it was supposed to, and I'm just not remembering. There was also one other... Where'd it go? What did I do with you? Oh, right here. I am going to have to add a little strip of decorative paper right there. I don't know why when I was gluing these pockets down I wasn't thinking, and I don't know. I have no idea. This is the only one that this happened on. I have no clue what I was thinking when I did that. So on these two little strips, I'm going to have to add a little bit of decorative paper. But the reason I'm showing it is because I want you guys to realize when you're making mini albums, whether you're a beginner or you've been doing it for a while, you can fix all of it. Unless it's absolutely falling apart, that maybe not so much. But if you cut the paper wrong, or on some of these, I ended up having to change the paper that I used because, well, the original sheet I just cut wrong. So then I was all like, you know what? I'll just use something else. I'm happy to say that this mini album will be the last one that I add a few pictures to. And I will be able to box them up and ship them off and show these people the love that they showed me. Thanks for watching.